Good evening from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 6:30 p.m. on the 11th of March 2024. I'm a little bit late making my video this evening, early this evening, because had a busy day, had a lovely day today actually. Had lots of spiritual messengers and encouragement and sweetness, and then a random surprise visit from my friend Jared, and I booked in at the Mater Public Hospital as well for urodynamics to do some more testing on my bladder before they decide whether I'm a candidate for Botox or not to rectify my bladder issues. My overactivity where I'm up all night peeing, which is exhausting. I'm so tired. I had to set the alarm for 7 to be up and Adam and ready to go to the hospital to be there by 9. And I literally only got some sleep between 4:30 a.m. and 7, so I'm a bit wrung out, but I have had a lovely day. Sometimes, even running on exhaustion, I seem to be given extra spiritual energy, and it's a beautiful thing, but it's a bit astonishing at times. But anyway, I've had a lovely day, which you will no doubt hear about when I start reading my offerings of even date. And so we begin. Today's journaling is titled Penny, My Soulmate Fur Angel, and Random Messages or Coincidences from Little Children. The dance, meaning the dance through life, continues. And here I posted a photograph of my beautiful cat Penny, who is no longer with us but waiting for me. Where all good pussycats and soulmates go, in Valhalla or heaven or nirvana or whatever dimension the gods decree to send me to when my own appointed time comes. I certainly hope and pray I'm greeted by all my true beloved ones, all my beautiful loving pets, and I'm looking forward to that fantasy being made into a reality at my appointed time. Not in a hurry to get to the other side, people. Not anymore. I used to be, but I've cooled my heels since then. I'm wresting enjoyment out of life every day in every way. And who knows what the future holds for me and all of us on planet Earth. So hold your beloveds precious and hold your line and stay free, stay joyous, stay happy for as long as you can, and guard your health. Guard it, and try and find ways to blow life to it if, like me, you've been flailing for quite some time, people of Earth. We all have issues now, given the recent events of the last 4 years, so we all feel collectively very fragile indeed. But each individual soul, body, mind and spirit is indeed a powerful force of nature, and given the right circumstances and the right supports and the right treatments that are good for us and nurturing and nourishing and life affirming, even Mama T might be able to pull herself up and heal one more time. So on that note, I carry on with my readings. But I do miss that cat very much. All my cats and my dogs, all my pets over the decades, they each were individual souls that each brought great personality and characteristics, and each came with their own little precious gifts. So many blessings to my non-human friends and family. So today's readings of even date 11th of March, starting in 2024, because the luxury of getting your video log late in the evening is I've already recorded all my thoughts and feelings and any unusual little things that have happened during the day. So you're getting that recording of today's date as well. Otherwise, there's always a little bit of lag and things get forgotten or whatever. But anyway, as I said to you at the beginning, I've had a beautiful day. So here we go. Are you ready? Hold on to your hats, honeys. I woke up from intense dreams about Susie and Tom Fantaquast. They appeared to me as a very handsome couple in their early 40s. I knew them when they were in their late 40s, early 50s. So they appeared to me as younger than I remember them. Both tall and elegant Dutch people whom I knew from Wellington, New Zealand, who owned Susie's Coffee Lounge. I worked for them as a teenager. The dream was in bright technicolor, real-life aspects. What I mean by that, it was as though it was happening in real world. The scenery and the architecture and the colours were very, felt like, like walking into a real home, visiting someone in real world, not sort of crazy dream state, incongruent and coherent stuff, It felt very real. Try and explain it to you that way. They invited me into their home, which was full of modern type glass structures with lots of antique wooden furniture. It was beautiful and full of light and warmth, and as I say, it felt real, like a real home that I've gone to visit any one of my friends. They showed me their wine collection and had walls full of glasses, which kind of amused me as it looked like a bar. But I complimented them on their valuable acquisitions. I know nothing about wine. You could show me the most exclusive bottle of wine and I'd just go, that's nice, because I have no knowledge about wine collecting, but I know it's a very fine art form and very, very, very competitive and very something the wealthy indulge in. I wouldn't know the difference between sipping on a glass of, $4,000 wine is a $4 wine, and knowing me, I'd probably prefer the $4 wine because it'd be cheap and cheerful and sweet, right? I only really like sweet wines anyway. So don't ever ask me to become a connoisseur of wine, because I like my spirits, and wine is kind of not good for me. Only 2 glasses can get me very, very drunk. So I certainly don't indulge in it when I go dancing, for example, because I need to maintain control of my environment and my own body, mind and spirit. So I stick to my drink that I know I can manage very well, and the old Jack Daniels and Coke, and I'm happy with that. On rare occasions, like my birthday's coming up, I might indulge very rarely by buying a cocktail, but cocktails are very expensive, so that's usually just a once-a-year treat. Anyway, that's just on the subject of wine and indulging in alcohol, right? Susie announced that they were selling the house, but I was invited to visit them in their new home. I was quite thrilled about this. I was even thrilled to be seeing their current home. Now, I happen to know, because I've been to their home when I was a young woman. It looked nothing like this home in the dream, right? So they had a very beautiful home in Evans Bay, I believe it, in Wellington, and I even helped my mother clean their home when Mum was working for her for a while as her cleaning woman. I actually went and helped clean her home, and I remember well Susie asking me, how do you feel about cleaning houses for a living, Tanya? And I said to her, I was about 14 at the time, 13 or 14. I didn't start working for her in her coffee shop until I was 15. But I said to her, oh, well, there's no shame in the game. Someone has to clean someone's house. We all have to clean our houses. There's no shame in cleaning houses for a living. But how exactly do you feel about it? I said, well, it's very hard work and it's not very well paid. So everyone aspires to something better, don't they? I said, but someone's got to do it. And even my mother laughed and went, oh, doch mensch, But I could see Susie really respected that I'd thought it through and wasn't precious about having to scrub someone's loo or clean their kitchen, or, I wasn't elitist about it. And she liked that about me. She liked that I was very real and down to earth and pragmatic, and also a bit humble and a bit respectful at times. So anyway, but I'll repeat that sentence. I was even thrilled to be seeing their current home. The logical part of my brain told me, because I kind of lucid dream a bit, so I'll be in the middle of a dream and the lucid part of me will go, are you serious? This is a ridiculous dream. It doesn't make sense. And I often will second guess myself even in my dream state, which tells you that after years of trauma, I kind of have this kind of schism where I can engage different parts of the brain at times. It's quite astonishing ability at times. So the logical part of my brain told me, you didn't know them when they lived here or when they were this young, to remind me that the dream didn't make sense because they were too young and it was a different house. But I replied that it didn't matter as it was a dream. So I stayed in the dream trying to glean more meaning or information, as I often will do. I will try and stay in a dream until I get whatever message was supposed to be imparted to me, right? So it is kind of a form of almost lucid dreaming, but maybe not quite as controlled. I woke up with my 7 a.m. alarm very reluctantly, as I had had a bad night of peeing and interrupted sleep. But I have my appointment at the Mater Public urologist, so there is that. So I've had a shower, washed my hair, and so it's time to hit the ground running. But later on I write, at the coffee club at Mater Hill. I have been booked in for a urodynamics test, so then they can decide what's the next best treatment for my bladder overactivity. Very likely Botox. Yay! An end to this constant struggle is in sight. Bear in mind, I've been struggling with this condition now for 8 years, and the last 2 years have been very, very fraught indeed, with very, very little sleep and constant interruptions. Hang on a minute, I smell burning. I'm not burning anything in the house. Must be a bit of dust on the aircon. That's a worry. I have to make sure I get up there and give it a good scrub later. The nurse practitioner informed me the testing will be conducted by my female urologist, you don't need to know her name, and all female nurses. So I will be in good hands, smiley face. Quote, unquote, we will be gentle with you. What a relief after the abject horror of the other 2 public hospitals who chronically, systemically abused me. So much so that the QE2 threw out my patient file, so there was no fallback on them ever, because all the notes from years of dentistry, the hysterectomy, bladder repair, repair job, vaginal repair, all turfed out, no way to cross-reference anything. The whole entire file and when we're talking, probably 10 years of dentistry at that hospital as well, gone, right? Absolute malfeasant cowardice on their part. Absolute malfeasance. So anyway, there and that alone is proof when I say that I was systemically abused for that whole file to be disappeared like that. Anyway, here I write, I feel a bit safer and reassured. 5% risk of retention with the Botox, which would only be temporary for 6 to 8 weeks. Great. I feared that being a permanent condition. 15% risk of getting a bladder infection. Now, they're not going to like this, but this is the truth, people. I remember well the Mater gifting MRSA to a woman who had delivered a baby years ago when my own mother was in there with lockjaw from tetanus. That young mother almost died. So the nurse practitioner today told me there's a 15% chance that although they're very careful with hygiene, that there might be just enough bacteria that you can still come down with an infection. She said that very calmly and stoically, like it was just like a nothing thing. But I'm sitting there having memories of that young woman having a flesh-eating disease from their delivery room not being quite hygienic enough and came close to dying. She actually had necrotic tissue. It was fucking horrific. So you can imagine that although the Mater promises to be gentle with me and treat me with sweetness and kindness and be honouring, that I'm still absolutely terrified of being under the care of any major hospital in this country, or I guess anywhere in the world right now. I'm very, very terrified, but it's a risk and a chance I'll have to take to try and get relief from my overactivity with my bladder at night, so I can get some sleep, so I can function a little bit more productively and normally, and who knows what I might be able to achieve when I get some kind of normality back into my corpus sanctorum, my human, frail, aging body, and its rather mischievous nerve signalling and in the bladder area. So fingers crossed I don't get any infections. Hopefully the divine feminine, the Shekhinah, the Mater, since Mater is Latin for mother and references, of course, being a Catholic hospital originally, the Mater, Mother Mary of Jesus, right? Hopefully, I said, the Mater, Mother of us all, will indeed be gentle with me and scrupulously clean and clear. Hopefully, smiley face. Look, they were very sweet and kind to me today, but I have my, as for reasons delineated, quite a few reasons that I won't delineate here, reasons to be fearful, like the fact that I'm a whistleblower, and a lot can be done when you're under anaesthetic, by the way. I know that's awful to even think that, but I am terrified. I am terrified, putting my body at the mercy of, anyone really. Here I post a photo of my cup of coffee that I actually posted on Instagram that I have at the Mater Hill Coffee Club right across the road from the hospital. And here I posted 2 photos. I actually took 3, but I only posted 2 on Vocal Media. The foam left over from my cappuccino, I don't know if you can quite see it. Left what looked like little pictograms like you'd find in cave paintings on ancient caves. I was quite amused by that. So I wrote, interesting pictograms formed by the phone in my mug, lol. And here's one. I'll point it out to you because it's hard. I usually circle them before I post them on Facebook or Focal Media, but here's one. Let's try and get in closer. Oh, there's a shadow. Where is it? Don't know if you can see it, but there's one that looks like a sausage dog, a dachshund, or in English we say dachshund, and a butterfly next to it there. Looked a bit like a butterfly. Of course, you probably have to use your imagination a bit. But I wrote, I see a dachshund and a butterfly. Interestingly, as I crossed the street to come to the coffee club, leaving the hospital, I did see a man walking a young, rather skinny dachshund. So it was funny that I saw that little stick figure image of it in my cup. Very, very strange. So it was a synchronicity, having just seen a real life dachshund to then see that image show up later in my cup, and not a long time later. As I was watching that little doggy walking up the hill with his owner, thinking that doggy could do with a bit more food on it. Looked too skinny for my liking. I'd rather see animals and people have a little bit of extra weight on, just not to be as plump as I am, but just to be a little bit robust, right? I've always had a thing about people not being too skinny. Some kind of, I don't know, hangover from the fact that my family is survivors of World War II and, didn't like to be skinny either, or starved, literally. Here I write later on after that, waiting for the bus home. Had to put money on my Go card as we'll be back here on Wednesday to see my private urologist. I feel lightheaded, so bought some Jelly Bellies as well. Need a sugar hit. So tired. And the weird thing about that was I just had a bowl of chips with a cappuccino, so I'd actually had, a meal, and I walked away and I actually felt really woozy and like a bit faint, so I thought that's odd. So anyway, I had a bit of a sugar hit and I felt a bit better by the time I got home with the bus. So here I posted up photos because I hung up the beautiful amulet that I had finished renovating yesterday. It took 4 days, 4 evenings, and another amulet, which you've only got part of it in the photo, that made by the same friend many years ago, Dr. John Bradley, who's an anthropologist by profession and a Kabbalist, and who made those actually for my protection back in 2002, which was a beautiful gift he gave me because he put so much pure and beautiful intentions and energies into them. And it's funny that I got the urge to renovate the one on the left because I will indeed need a lot of protection. Even though the staff promise that they'll be gentle with me, I will indeed need extra protection when I go to have surgery at that hospital, the surgery being when they put me under general anaesthesia and gift me about 8 or 10 injections of Botox into my bladder. I will be needing as much thoughts and prayers and extra protection as possible. And I'm sure I will be fine, but it's kind of just how my spirit is already like, I think I'll do up that amulet, and the timing is I'm about to, probably in 3 or 6 months or a year, have that surgery, and that surgery will be required every 6 to 9 months, by the way, which is also a bit frightening because every time you go under anaesthetic, you lose brain cells, so you lose a little bit of cognition. This could be a yearly event. So I'm also frightened of ultimately ending up with Alzheimer's or dementia, which is deeply terrifying to me, given that was my mother's end of her life. So as you can imagine, all this is very fragile making to my psyche, and I'm trying not to catastrophize or blow it out of proportion, because it's that or I continue on as I've gone for the last 8 years with minimal sleep and a very, very busy bladder, very angry, busy bladder all night long. So something's got to give. And God forbid I should die under the anaesthetic. Well, I guess that might come down to fate, and that might actually be a good thing, because when I did almost die the last time I had anaesthetic, it was actually coming back after the anaesthetic, a couple of hours afterwards actually. It was a very peaceful way to go out. So honestly, if God forbid that is my fate, my din, my judgment by the gods, it's not so bad. It's at least will be a gentle way to bow out. But I'm not planning on that. I'm not looking for that. I'm just conscious that, I could be skating around that rim of that abyss too a bit. Anyway, so here I write. So glad I did this, meaning renovating that beautiful amulet that John made for me with such genuine, heartfelt intentions he put into it. It looks lovely, and I am grateful for the healing energies and spiritual protection as always. Pardon me. I need to frame the other amulet made by Dr. John Bradley. I think he's called an associate professor or Professor John Bradley by now. But anyway, he is indeed a doctor of anthropology, so I may not have updated his credentials, but I still appreciate what he did for me back in 2002. Grateful to my magical and Kabbalist friends, my earth angels and my gods and protectors, human and non-human. You know who you are. Kiss, kiss, kiss. From the Ein Sof Or down to Malchut and back up again, all manifestations of holiness, peace, better health, truest, greatest love, true friends, community, in brackets, tribe, and safe and protective doctors and nurses. Blessed be the Holy One in all manifestations of love, light, truth, and profound healing, and exponential growth and abundance and fruitful, loving potentialities not yet even dreamed about. Mama T is suffused in mana. Mana means mojo or spiritual power. Smiley face. Jared arrived and took me to Grilled for lunch. Grilled is like a burger bar, a very nice, food chain of like a burger restaurant, but nicer, better quality burgers than you get at McDonald's, by the way. We are being stalked by a pigeon, which is funny, as I was stalked by many pigeons at Coffee Club also. Cute. So here I post a photo because I just thought it was delightful of the pigeon watching me as we waited to receive our orders. That one had a club foot, that little pigeon, which is a bit unusual. And she was a very sweet pigeon. Very sweet indeed. My cousin Melissa Rose wrote, "Rats with wings." She doesn't like pigeons. And I wrote, "No, but so lovely." And she replied, "I had a flock of them roosting on the power lines outside my house. They were filthy, crapping everywhere, scavenging and attacking other birds. I learned to hate them." And I put, crying face emoji. And I replied, "I never met a bird I didn't like, unlike some humans, except for the pet turkey where I adjusted my horse that used to viciously attack me, and another friend's pet magpie that did the same. But most wild birds actually treat me kindly." So anyway, Jared and I didn't write any more about that, but Jared and I, after we went to Grilled, we went to Stone's Corner, and I bought a beautiful little tiny antique salt spoon, but sterling silver one, in a second-hand shop. I got it was a bargain. I got it for $8, so that was about half price of what you'd pay if you buy them on eBay. So I was quite delighted by that, and it should clean up quite nicely, and I can make a little ring or something out of it. Haven't decided what I'll make out of it, but I was just thrilled because it's very hard to find actual sterling silver vintage or antique spoons in second-hand shops. They usually only sell silver plate, which I don't want to work with. I want to work only with sterling silver, the reason being that I can always melt down the sterling silver and use it for casting and cast rings or make other things from it, but you can't melt down silver plate, and silver plate doesn't hold intrinsic value. And to my mind, you can polish it up and it looks nice like silver because it's plated, but it's got pot metal underneath, or nickel or other metals, and I just don't see the point in investing in something like that that will not retain its value and can't be recycled or reused into other things like sterling silver can. So that's why I moved to buying the more expensive sterling silver flatware rather than just silver plated EPNS flatware. Anyway, so I also bought a lovely handbag. Oh, I'll show it to you. It was actually a bargain too. Very nice handbag. Brand new, hasn't even been used. There's a few little scratches on it, but nothing really to worry about. And look, brand spanking new, you can see by the lining, and I got that for $20. So that and the little silver spoon were quite little surprises today. I had a day of surprises. Being booked in for the Eurodynamics test, which they said, could I come at a moment's notice? I said yes. If you get a cancellation, I will come. The sooner you can do the testing, the sooner I can get onto the Botox and resolve this issue, even though I'm deeply terrified of the actual surgery, but I'm sure it will be fine. But the sooner it happens, the sooner I can heal this situation, and then I can get better and maybe be more productive, maybe, I don't know, find my niche at long last. And I'd be able to invite a lovely lover man into my life because I won't be up all night peeing between 4 or 6 or 20 times a night and disturbing someone else's sleep, and I could actually, contemplate inviting a man to be my partner down the track. Well, that's a big bloody dream, isn't it? But there's no way, I said to the nurse, there's no way I could invite someone into my life with this situation, being awake all night, apart from the fact that we'd have to have separate bedrooms, because a man wouldn't be able to sleep with me, literally having to get up at least 6 times a night. I think I had one good night about 4 or 5 nights ago where I only got up twice. That's a good night. But a bad night, I'm up 20 times, like on average every 15 to 20 minutes. Like, it's just insane making, and no one could be expected to live with someone like that. It's not fair to put anyone through that. It would just be selfish. So I've been soldiering on with this health issue for 8 years. And then I said to the lovely nurse practitioner, I said, it's kind of ironic that only in the recent year or so that I've actually even contemplated wanting a partner. I said, because it's like my spirit wanting to thrive, right? Wanting to have a loving partner by my side, being caring and loving and protective and genuine this time. Hopefully not another maniac wanting to kill me, because I had a lifetime of those. And I said it's my spirit wanting all the things that I've never been able to achieve in life, because I'm fending off death people and I'm wanting to live fully and vibrantly and even have a healthy, constructive, loving sexual life again. That's the plan, people. So there's a lot hinging on this bladder condition being resolved, at least calmed down if nothing else. There's a lot hinging on it. My future prosperity, my future ability to be in a partnership with someone, and hopefully me not freaking dying as well. I mean, we all die eventually, everyone dies, but hopefully buying myself a bit more time, because I'm not in a perpetual state of chronic fucking intense chronic fatigue, and maybe my mental health will not quite spiral down quite as much as it's been in recent months, because of just from sheer exhaustion. My psychiatrist is deeply worried that my mental health might be compromised, or I might start to develop Alzheimer's or dementia from just the sheer constant struggling of exhaustion. So anyway, Jared and I had a lovely time at Stones Corner, and then we came back and we had a few snacky bits, because he's limited to what he can eat now, that he's a diabetic. But we had a lovely afternoon together, and it was a lovely surprise that he came. He said he didn't have much work on today, and he showed me his new car, and I was deeply thrilled about that. So yes, today has been a sweet day. And I continue reading 11th of March 2023. I went to Stones Corner following urges by spirit. So that's kind of interesting that exactly 1 year later, Jared suggested we go to Stones Corner together today too. I had a good look around in all the second-hand shops there, which is what we did today as well. In the last shop, I found some interesting wooden bowls and ornamental Dutch clogs. The red-lidded bowl came from Krakow, Poland. I thought it was lovely. I think the other 2 timber bowls could be used for yarn bowls. I think that's what they're designed for. I gave them a good polish with wood seasoning and warmed them in the oven so the seasoning oils could seep in. And here we have the photo of them. And here you can see the clogs in the little bowl in real life. So yes, that's kind of a synchronicity too, that exactly 12 months later went to the same suburb and looked around the shops there. Very interesting. This morning I sold a vintage round light globe. The man who bought it was very happy as he is creating a 1920s piano bar and wanted the light to replace one he had broken. He said he'd been searching everywhere. I sold it for only $20, so he got a bargain too. It made me happy that he was appreciative and it went to a good home. Moving the stale energy and clutter out of my home feels good too. So that was 1 year ago. On the 11th of March 2021, I just got home from attending a lecture at the C.G. Jung Society. It was my first time going there, and as usual, I was racked with anxiety. I arrived just as the lecture was about to begin, lost time on the hectic drive to Main Street, Kangaroo Point, because it was kind of peak hour traffic in the evening, and it was quite mad traffic. I walked in the door after a moment's hesitation and couldn't see anything because my glasses steamed up after moving from my air-conditioned car to the summer Estros, even though it's cooler now. The two women taking the money were kind, but were trying not to laugh at me. I leaned over and said, "It's my first time here, and I can't see a bloody thing as my glasses have steamed up." I struggled to get the $10 in coins I had purloined from my money box out of my purse, but grateful for the concession as I had thought it was $15.